Welcome to Campground Conversations, an Ocean Lakes podcast. Join us as we dive into frequently asked questions, uncover hidden gems, and share exclusive behind-the-scenes stories of Ocean Lakes Family Campground. From all of us at your happy place in sunny Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, thanks for tuning in.
Welcome back to Campground Conversations. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Kinsley.
And today we're talking about something super special happening along our coast right now. Sea turtle nesting season.
Yep, it's that time of year when sea turtles start coming ashore to lay their eggs. And we have two awesome guests here to tell us all about it. Dana is a SCUTE volunteer and part of our Ocean Lakes team. And Addie is our Nature Center specialist here at the Leonard Raker Discovery Lab.
Hello.
Hey, y'all. This is Dana.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank y'all for joining us. We're going to start with the basics. So, Dana, can you tell us what exactly sea turtle nesting season is and when it happens here in South Carolina?
Sure. So sea turtle nesting season is the time of year when all of our sea turtles come up on the beach and lay their nests. And then roughly 60 days or so after the nests are laid, little babies will come out and make their way to the ocean. And this time it happens between May 1st and October 31st.
Awesome.
I heard that we've already had our first nest in the state. Is that pretty early or is that normal?
It's a little early. We did have our first nest for the state at Folly Beach, which is south of us, yesterday. But we were the winners of the first nest of the state last year when we had the first nest on April 29th in Garden City. So it's a little earlier, but I think with the warmer temperatures too, that often helps when they start nesting. But typically they were at range anywhere from the beginning of May to middle of May.
Okay.
That's awesome. Addie, for guests staying at Ocean Lakes, what are the chances they'll see a turtle or a nest, and are there any signs they can look out for?
So turtles are pretty good at being sneaky. They come in at night and they lay their eggs, and the chances are you're not really going to see them coming in and laying their eggs. But there have been nests that have been laid in Ocean Lakes before. So some things that guests can look out for is flipper marks heading back towards the water. And the nests themselves kind of look like bad sand castles, and they'll flatten out over time. So that's a couple of things they can look out for if looking for nests.
Okay, awesome. Those are great tips. So even though our guests may not have the chance to see the sea turtles coming up to nest, Dana, could you tell us a little bit about the kinds of sea turtles that nest on our beach? I know loggerheads are the main ones, right?
Correct, yes. Loggerheads are definitely the main one that we have. Most of the nests that we get in our area will be the loggerheads. We do occasionally get a green sea turtle nest, which those are the prettiest of the sea turtles. I tell people their shells look like they were hand painted. They're so pretty. And we have actually one that we call our resident green sea turtle down in Garden City. My team calls her Mama Green. And she has religiously nested with us since we've documented it back to 2008, but they think she has been coming as early as the 90s.
Wow.
And she is due to come back again this season. So we are hoping, and when she does come back, she usually leaves at least 3 nests in one season. So she is a big contributor to the green sea turtles in our area. And then we also sometimes get Kemp's Ridleys. They are a smaller sea turtle. They have had some, I believe, in North Myrtle Beach. So we're always on the lookout for those too.
Awesome.
Addie, what's something surprising or interesting about loggerheads that guests might not know about?
So you probably wouldn't expect it from a loggerhead because they're so cute, but they have a very powerful bite. They can bite with the force of almost 500 pounds, and they'll kind of demonstrate that in the ocean when they're swimming around. They'll hold their mouth open and chomp it, and so that the other animals can see that they've got such a powerful bite.
I would have never thought that. They look so gentle to me.
Yes, they do.
And something that is also really neat, I've heard about turtles. I don't know if this is true. Dana can clear it up for us. Do they really come back to the same beach where they were born?
They do. When the eggs hatch and the hatchlings come out, we say that they are setting their internal GPS because give it 30 years from that time, they will come back to the same beach where they were hatched to lay their nests.
Wow.
Which is so cool.
That's so
they
incredible.
can swim hundreds of miles and they'll still come back to where they were laid to nest. They know where to come.
I love that.
That's
so much.
crazy.
Yeah. And that's why we get a lot of repeat resident, we call it our resident turtles because they come back every year, but we do actually DNA testing on some of the eggs throughout the season. And so we know which turtles are coming back each year. So it's really neat.
Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that their journey is pretty intense sometimes. You know how far they travel and what kind of challenges they might face?
Yeah, so the first journey they ever have to make is the journey from their nest to the water, and that one's pretty intense. They face things like raccoons, ghost crabs, foxes, coyotes, all those kind of things are predators for them. So making it to the ocean is their first journey. Once they get there, in their first 10 years, they might circle the entire North Atlantic Ocean.
Wow.
And they might even do that more than once. They like to travel a lot when they're young. But once they become older, they'll tend to move towards more coastal waters and move more south as they mature. And then they'll start breeding in the more southern regions.
Okay.
And what is the survival rate like for the hatchlings? I could imagine it's not easy making it from the nest all the way down to the ocean.
So the survival rate is not great. It is currently 1 in 1,000 sea turtles that make it to adulthood. So it kind of breaks your heart, I know. And that's why they're endangered. But we're doing so much to protect them and to protect their nests and to help them that I think that stat is really going to start to improve. But yeah, they have to put up a great fight to get through adulthood. So
Yes, it does sound like it.
But I'm sure there's some things we can do to help, right?
yes, absolutely.
Then let's talk about some of those things now. What should our listeners, especially our guests here at Ocean Lakes, do and not do during sea turtle nesting season?
Number one for me is probably leaving garbage on the beach. All of that stuff will end up in the ocean. So not just for the sea turtles, but for all marine life. Just please, please, please pick up your garbage. Shading devices are another big thing. Tents and stuff like that. People leave that up at night. And especially during nesting season, turtles can get caught up in that. And they can die if they get caught up in that and can't get back to the water. And also holes. People love to, dig the huge holes on the beach, and kids think it's a great time, which it is, and that's totally fine. But just fill in your holes before you leave, because not only can people fall in them if they're walking at night, but I've seen sea turtles can get trapped in them. The babies especially. I mean, the baby sea turtle hatchling can fit in your hand. That's how small they are. They're so
cute.
Right.
tiny. So, I mean, they can get stuck in a footprint if it's deep enough. So holes like that are just not good. You have to fill those in.
Right.
Definitely the holes. I think that's what not a lot of people think about or even know. I remember when I was a kid, I dug holes and I didn't even realize. And so I think that that's something that the more people are informed, the more we'll be able to help out some sea turtles. And then also turning off your lights during sea turtle nesting season.
Yes.
Keeping your lights off because they'll get distracted by that light. It throws off their natural cues. So keeping your lights off, even like closing your blinds at night, that kind of thing.
Yes. So, Addie, can you tell us how the Nature Center supports this mission? I know you do programs for guests, right?
Yes. One of my favorites that we have is called Dig a Sea Turtle Nest.
Yes.
We go out to the beach and we pretend to be mommy turtles. We start at the water. We find our perfect spot. We go through all the motions. We do body pitting. We dig with our feet just like they do. We'll talk about the process they go through and the challenges that they face. And we'll also talk about light ordinances and that kind of thing. Just to start young, start with the kids and inform them a little bit more about sea turtles. And it's fun. It's super fun. We have little backpacks. We're turtles and it's
I love that.
That's so cute.
We have been a few times and it's been a joy to watch.
It's a great activity.
Dana, like we mentioned earlier, you are a part of SCUTE, which stands for South Carolina United Turtle Enthusiasts. What does SCUTE actually do during nesting season?
SCUTE is a voluntary organization dedicated to sea turtle conservation in Georgetown and Horry counties, which are the counties here in southern Myrtle Beach. Our main goal is to care, protect, and then rescue any sea turtles in the area that might need it. We are permitted by the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources to protect, and if necessary, we can relocate turtle nests on the beach if needed.
Okay.
During turtle nesting season, our volunteers are on the beach every morning at sunrise looking for turtle tracks and any nests. So per SCDNR guidelines, we monitor and protect nests we find until the hatchlings reach the ocean. We have members of our team that are certified to help rescue like turtles that might get hooked at the pier with fishing line, or any that just might be sick that need care. And we work very closely with the Sea Turtle Care Center down at the Sea Turtle Aquarium in Charleston.
Okay.
So we have members that will drive any sick or injured sea turtles down there. And that hospital, if anyone has the chance to go there, they're absolutely amazing, the work they do down there. And then we also protect the nests. We monitor them to just keep them from predators that Addie had mentioned. Seagulls will go after them, coyotes, crabs, fire ants, all that stuff. If you're walking the beach near Ocean Lakes at sunrise and see people in bright green uniform shirts, it's a good chance that's a member of the Garden City Surfside Beach SCUTE team. So feel free to talk to us, as we love to share information to educate locals and anyone visiting the area.
Well, we all appreciate what you guys do and all the volunteers that help to protect the wildlife in our community.
That goes right into the next point. If somebody does see a turtle coming up to nest, if they think they found a nest, what's the best thing for them to do?
So we tell our security team here at Ocean Lakes, if anybody sees a turtle on the nest, to call. They can call either the Nature Center and call Addie if it's during business hours, or if they would see them at night, they're welcome to call security, and security will contact myself or a member of the SCUTE team, and we will have the proper people that are trained to come out and to take care of them, and to monitor them and watch them.
Because it is illegal
Yes.
to disturb them or harass them, which even shining lights on them is harassment.
Yeah, there is a hefty fine for harassing an endangered animal. So
good rule of thumb is just don't touch them.
Right. Well, I guess it's just like I said, just give them their space. It's a beautiful thing to see, but you need to respect nature and the animals and give them their space, and call us just so we can make sure that they will be protected and nobody else will bother them.
Right.
Yes. And even if you are not here in Ocean Lakes and you find one, you can always call South Carolina DNR's 24-hour number, 1-800-922-5431. And you can always look to see your local DNR phone number if you're not in South Carolina.
And one other point Addie and I wanted to talk about was, if you do see a turtle on the beach, not all turtles on the beach are always sea turtles.
Yeah, birds will often pick them up and drop them on the beach. And so I have had several people already this month bringing me baby turtles, thinking that they're sea turtles, which you're not supposed to pick up anyway, thinking that they're sea turtles. But luckily, I'm glad they brought them to me, because they're aquatic turtles, and we'll just put them out in the pond so that they can live happily in there. They have a little bit better chances of surviving. But make sure that if you do find a turtle on the beach, look for claws or flippers. Sea turtles will always have flippers. They will never, ever have claws. And aquatic turtles will have those claws. And those turtles, if they get into the ocean, if they drink that salt water, they can get really sick and die. So we want to make sure that those turtles aren't staying on the beach. They're getting where they need to go.
Yes, and that's a good way to tell, and an easy one, too.
And another cool fact about sea turtles and land turtles, sea turtles cannot put their head in their shell. Like land turtles can. Sea turtles, that's their skeleton, like their carapace, which is their shell. So if you see a turtle that's putting its head in its shell, that's not a sea turtle.
I never knew that.
So before we wrap up, what is one thing that you hope every Ocean Lakes guest remembers during sea turtle season?
Mine would just be to respect your beach, like we already talked about. Fill in your holes, pick up your trash, respect the animals if you happen to see them on the beach, and, have a great time, but be respectful of nature.
That's a good one.
Mine would be to stay informed and stay up to date, because there's a lot of little things we talked about that I didn't know when I was a kid, but you learn as you get older. So stay informed about sea turtles and what's good and bad for them, the do's and don'ts, and stay up to date about that information so that we can give the sea turtles the best chance of making it to adulthood.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Well, we wanted to thank you both so much for joining us.
Yes.
And thank you to our listeners for being a part of the effort to protect these amazing creatures.
If you want to learn more, you can always stop by the Nature Center to see Addie, our naturalist, or you can visit dnr.sc.gov. You can also visit the Garden City Surfside SCUTE Facebook page for local updates.
And don't forget, small actions make a big difference. Let's all continue to protect our wildlife together.
This was Kinsley,
Maddie,
Dana,
and Addie
with Campground Conversations, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.